It was a really interesting experience because we actually got to learn how to deal with the problem and how to go back to grassroots, the root causes of it. And it was really interesting speakers, and it was really nice to listen to all of them.
Especially interacting with the NGOs like Ragiri and Intersection, and all these NGOs were very encouraging, and you got to learn how actually these NGOs work and how 16-year-olds and 17-year-olds can change the mindset of the society and how these can bring about a change in the modern world.
Well, one, it was really nice to meet so many people from other schools. It was a really interactive session and I got to know a lot of new people.
We've never done anything like this.
Yes, definitely.
But to a large extent, yes, because the works of Ragiri, which is connecting sustainable transport to urban cities in Delhi. So we didn't know this fact that 18% of the population occupy 95% of the roads, and we got to also learn, how private transport can be converted to public transport and how we can create a sustainable future for our youth.
There is something different in this conference over here. We have got together over here and we are discussing something like education, which is extremely necessary under the article of RTE. Then we are discussing Ragiri. Now pollution, Delhi is said to be the most polluted city in the world. We are discussing something about that. For example, I myself am an asthmatic patient and I know how pollution levels bring a difference to my health. So it's very good to see that we as students here and volunteers like all of you are trying to contribute towards the society, and I hope we'll get through something and do something very good.
Well, I feel that honestly, unless we hadn't come here, we wouldn't really been bothered by these issues, and we wouldn't have, I don't think any of us actually go online and we'll research about NGOs and that kind of stuff because we're too busy doing our normal, usual day stuff. So coming here really opened my eyes to all these social issues that exist, and when I probably go back to school, I am going to try talking to my other peers and stuff about these kind of issues and see what we can do.
Yes, that's brilliant. Spread the word.
So
we could understand theories such as the 5 why theory. Now it's extremely interesting to see that if there is a problem that exists in the society, its root cause goes back when you ask the question why 5 times.
And I've decided not to take the simple things for granted. For example, children's education, because I didn't think it was a very major gap between the privileged society and so-called underprivileged society.
we shouldn't be looking at the superficial issue. We should actually go down to what actually causes the problem and solve that, so in turn will solve a lot of issues.
And then we realized that our point of view is not the only point of view that is relevant. So we got to learn the other schools and we got to, hear their own point of view. So we learned a lot, and through this we really want to implement a lot in the society too, from what we learned.
And another thing I like to add is empathy. So basically we learned very importantly that it is extremely necessary to put yourself in the other person's shoes and view that issue from his perspective, and that is only when you can resolve that issue which actually concerns him.
Nothing is too wacky to not be valid. Everything is possible.
The favorite part was the time we got to spend together and with other children of other schools also, and then we got to learn about resource management and how to implement the ideas that we have tried for so long.
And also the concept of being in mixed groups, I think that was really nice and well thought of, because then we get to know each other and then we also get to know each other's ideologies as well.
Well, for me, it's that activity that happened yesterday at Indus Valley before she began talking about everything. The way she she split us into 2 groups and she told us to draw something beautiful. And then for one group there were words of encouragement. The other, she was kind of negative and she was kind of discouraging us. So to see and to actually in real life see how that affects people, the results were kind of astonishing, and I never really thought that would happen. So
It would be the time when they put newspaper up and they asked us to put post-its with our ideas on it. The brainstorming session, that was the best, because they said come up with the wackiest ideas you want, come up with as many ideas as you can, and we found by the end of it we had 40-45 ideas. And it made us think really fast, quick on our feet. Yeah, and first you'd say something and you'd expect everyone to laugh because it was a joke, but then they'd take it seriously and they'd make it happen.
Yeah,
so that was amazing.
Disregarded. We just are all in it.
When it's that fast, you have no time to make fun of anyone.
Whatever we did helped us to socialize, know each other, and expand our contacts, which was extremely good. and the zip zap boing we played was very, it pumped up our energy again and brought us back to life. So.
Great.
Enthusiastic.
Amazing.
Exhausted. Quite satisfied.
Inspired and changed, obviously, because the logo is Children for Change. So
Enlightened.